An unusual feeling has begun to circulate behind the scenes of a major Premier League club, the kind that first arrives as a whisper before turning into a serious conversation. In the corridors, in training sessions, even in the more discreet behavior of certain important figures, everything seems to indicate that something significant is about to happen. No one says anything directly, but everyone acts as if they know that an important piece may be moving, ready to reshuffle the board of English football in an unexpected way. And when the atmosphere shifts like this, any detail grabs attention, such as an exchanged glance between staff members or a conversation abruptly cut off as soon as someone approaches. It's in these moments that fans start to feel that a bombshell may be on the way, even without knowing exactly where it will explode. By the way, before we continue, it's worth reminding supporters who haven't subscribed yet that following the channel helps keep this space constantly updated with the best Newcastle information. It's just one click and you're part of the community. Rumours begin to come from different sources, some more reliable, others less so, but all pointing in the same direction, like arrows aiming at a shared target. What's most curious is that this movement doesn't involve only one interested club. It seems that the giants of the league are watching, waiting to see which direction this possible deal takes before making their own moves. The scenario becomes even more intriguing because the player in question is not just anyone, but someone who left his mark on English soil before taking a different path at the peak of his career. Now, after some time away from the Premier League spotlight, the door seems ready to reopen. Yes, the player is Ruben Neves, and according to information published by Mark Bruss in the Daily Briefing, the Portuguese midfielder may be ready to return to the Premier League as early as the January window. Manchester United, Tottenham and Newcastle appear as the main interested parties, but based on the player's characteristics and the moment each club is going through, one option makes much more sense than the others. And this is where the story begins to take shape, the real possibility of Neves wearing black and white once again, but this time at St. James Park. Ruben Neves left the Premier League after 6 brilliant seasons with Wolverhampton, where he established himself as one of the most talented players in his position. At just 28 years old, he still has the quality to compete at the highest level, and his recent performances for Portugal, including starting in the Nations League semi-final and featuring in the final, prove that his level hasn't dropped. Even so, he chose to move to the Saudi Professional League, becoming one of the most talked about transfers due to the stage of his career at the time. Among all the big money signings made by Saudi clubs in recent years, Neves belongs to a rare group, players who still have the level to perform at a top European club. Unlike names already in the final stretch of their careers, such as Neymar or Sadio Mane, and unlike younger players who failed to meet expectations at European giants, such as João Felix or Diaby Neves, was a unique case. His move to Saudi football surprised many experts at the time, but his performances both on and off the pitch kept his name highly valued. Now, 2 years later, with his finances secure and his international experience enriched, Neves is reportedly open to returning to England. According to the same source, his transfer could happen for around €20 million, a very accessible fee for well-structured Premier League clubs. This naturally attracted immediate interest from Manchester United and Tottenham, both needing midfield reinforcements for the remainder of the season. However, neither seems to offer the perfect fit that Newcastle can provide. To understand the scale of this opportunity, just look at Newcastle's current moment. Eddie Howe's team has been inconsistent recently due to injuries, suspensions, and accumulated physical wear. The midfield, especially after Tonali's absence and difficulties replacing Linton, has lost part of the consistency that defined last season. This is where Ruben Neves enters the picture as an immediate solution, bringing experience, technical quality and organizational ability that the team urgently needs. And if you're a Magpie supporter following the analysis up to this point, this is a great moment to subscribe to the channel. Your support helps keep the content complete and detailed, and ensures you receive first-hand updates on stories like this. Just click and join the community that grows with every video. Returning to the tactical fit, Neves is precisely the type of midfielder who can raise Newcastle's level instantly. In his last Premier League season, he ranked among the best in distribution statistics, long passes, set pieces, interceptions, and defensive blocks. His reading of the game has always been a key strength, enabling him to control match tempo and support transitions between defense and attack with precision. Alongside Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes, the Portuguese midfielder would form one of the most technical and intelligent midfields in the league. It would be the ideal combination of strength, creativity, and tactical discipline, something that could push Newcastle towards another run for the top 5 and possibly beyond. And considering the club is also competing in European tournaments this season, this addition would make an immediate difference. Another point that makes this transfer even more likely is the way Newcastle negotiates with Al Hilal, the player's current club. Since both are connected through the PIF, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, discussions tend to be faster and more direct, almost like internal negotiations. This dynamic is similar to what we've seen between Chelsea and Strasbourg, clubs that share the same ownership group, making transfers between them much more straightforward. Neves would need to accept a salary reduction, but everything suggests that this would not be a major issue. The fact that he is willing to listen to English clubs already indicates that his focus has shifted back to sporting ambition rather than financial reward. A return to the Premier League would reignite his competitive edge and maintain his relevance in the Portuguese national team, especially with important cycles ahead such as the World Cup. Moreover, Newcastle offers him something neither United nor Tottenham can deliver at the same level: immediate protagonism, while he would be just another name in large squads filled with stars. At St. James Park he would have a central role, helping to consolidate an ambitious sporting project still in development. This could heavily influence his decision, particularly for someone who has always sought to lead on the pitch. Another relevant aspect is that Neves has never played for teams that dominate matches solely through possession or sheer individual talent. Even so, he has always been extremely effective thanks to his tactical intelligence and adaptability. In a club like Newcastle, which combines intensity with strategic organization, he would find the perfect environment for his style of play. The transfer fee also fits perfectly into the Magpies' budget. For £17 to £18 million, the club would be securing one of the best value-for-money signings of the season. And with the January window approaching quickly, the move will likely progress fast if Newcastle truly want to secure the deal before the competition grows.